We're going to calculate the cost per equivalent unit and the cost of inventory transferred out and the cost of ending inventory for work in process using the FIFO method. We're working through problem 8-31 and 8-32 from the textbook using the data here in 829. We're told that Pacific Inc. had beginning work in process inventory costs of $372,480 on October 1st. Of this amount, $152,460 was the cost of direct materials, and $220,020 was the cost of conversion. The 48,000 units in beginning inventory were 30% complete with respect to both direct materials and conversion cost. During October, 102,000 units were transferred out, and 30,000 units remained in ending work in process inventory. The units in ending inventory were 80% complete with respect to direct materials and 40% complete with respect to conversion cost. Costs incurred during the period amounted to $1,171,800 for direct materials and $1,513,920 for conversion cost. Let's begin by going ahead and totaling the total cost for beginning work in process and the cost added and the total cost that we're going to need to account for. Our total beginning work in process account consisted of $372,480. We added $2,685,720 in cost during the period for a total cost of $3,058,200. Our next step is to go ahead and calculate our equivalent units of production. We're going to begin by calculating our equivalent units for direct materials. We were told that we were transferred out 102,000 units and that beginning work in process was 30% complete. So our equivalent units of production in this period will be the 102,000 minus those that were already completed and left over from the prior period, which is our 48,000 in beginning work in process times the 30% degree of completion. So our equivalent units for transferred out is 87,600. We're going to do the same calculation for the equivalent units of production for conversion costs, and since they too had a 30% degree of completion, we'll end up with the same 87,600. And again, we do that by taking our total units transferred out of 102,000 and subtracting the stage of completion of our beginning work in process, which was our 48,000 units times 30%. All right, for units that are in ending work in process, we're told our ending work in process consists of 30,000 units and they're 80% complete. So the equivalent units would be 24,000 equivalent units for direct materials. For conversion costs, we have a 40% degree of completion, so we'll take our 30,000 units times 40% to get 12,000 equivalent units. Thus, our total equivalent units of production for the period for direct materials is 111,600 units for direct materials and 99,600 equivalent units for conversion costs. Since our beginning work in process costs on a FIFO basis flow directly to goods transferred out, the only cost that we're going to consider in our equivalent units calculation will be the cost added. So we'll take our $1,171,800 in direct materials that we added this period and divide it by our 111,600 equivalent units for direct materials and get a cost per equivalent unit of $10.50. For conversion costs, we'll take our $1,513,920 of cost added during the period, divide that by our 99,600 equivalent units to get a cost per equivalent unit of $15.20 and a total cost per equivalent unit of $25.70. The last step then is to account for our costs. Again, in a FIFO method, our beginning costs for direct materials of $152,460 transfers directly to the units transferred out, as will our beginning costs for conversion costs of $220,020. Our current cost for direct materials then will be the 87,600 equivalent units for direct materials that we calculated above, multiplied by the 1050 per equivalent unit per unit cost. For conversion costs, we'll again take our 87,600 and multiply that by our 1520 per unit for conversion costs. So thus, our total cost transferred out that was associated with the beginning work in process, the full 372,480 flows directly through and is transferred out. Our direct material cost this period transferred out was $919,800, and our cost of conversion for the period for goods transferred out was $1,331,520, for a total cost for the units transferred out of $2,623,800. Ending work in process then, we'll take our 24,000 equivalent units, multiply it by our 1050 per equivalent unit to get a total of $252,000 for direct materials. Our conversion cost will be our 12,000 equivalent units multiplied by our 1520 per unit for equivalent for conversion costs for a total of $142,400. Finally, let's total up the cost of our goods transfer or left and ending work in process, and we see direct materials has a total of $252,000, conversion costs of $182,400 for a total cost of $434,400. And once again, as a final step, we make sure that the total cost that we've transferred out, which was the $2,623,800, plus the $434,400 left in ending work in process, equals the $3,058,200 that we had to account for from our cost reconciliation in the first part. And it does, and that tells us that we've calculated our cost allocation correctly using the FIFO method.